Hi everyone, it's Dani, and I wanted to talk to you about the recent news regarding the new Bond film. So Bond 24 has been named, and it is Spectre. The Bond franchise and the Broccoli family, they just got the rights back from Kevin McCrory to use the organization of Spectre and the character of Blofeld in the Bond franchise again. They lost the rights in the 70s or the early 80s and could no longer use Spectre or Blofeld in the Bond franchise, which is why we got that really weird send-off for Blofeld at the beginning of For Your Eyes Only, I think, where basically Bond kills Blofeld, but you don't see his face, and they don't say that it's Blofeld, but it's like a guy with a cat, and you know that it's Blofeld. That always struck me as really weird, and I didn't know until later that they had lost the rights to Blofeld, and that's why they had to kill him off in that way. The film being titled Spectre means that it is going to involve Spectre. So, whereas the last few Daniel Craig Bond films, I don't think that people really had to see the previous Bond films in order to kind of get what's going on. But at the same time, if you want to go back and watch anything involving Spectre, you should. I don't remember how many films Spectre actually ended up in, but you're going to be watching some Sean Connery and some Roger Moore. So, what does this mean for Marvel fans? It's been suggested by a few Bond fans and by Variety.com that the reason that the Bond franchise is so ready to get Spectre back into the equation is that they're trying to appeal to Marvel fans. Superhero movies, obviously, right now are huge. If by pitting Bond against not just some random villain, put him up against Spectre, which is very, very akin to Hydra in the Marvel Universe, then you will be appealing to Marvel fans and superhero movie fans, saying, hey, this is like this, come see this. I don't know, what do you think? Do you feel like Hydra and Spectre are similar? Or do you think that people are just kind of bridging that gap, making the connection? I always saw Hydra as, and I haven't read as many Marvel comics as I have DC, but I always saw Hydra as being evil. They're evil, right? Spectre, both in the books and the Bond movies, Spectre is not evil. I mean, they do bad things. They're not evil. They just don't give a crap about anyone. They just want to get money and get power. Which I think, I don't really know what Hydra's, like, motivating goal is, but I feel like they're a little bit different there. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. You can tweet at me. I'm Dani Snow 007 on Twitter. Tweet at me if you have anything that you want to talk about in the comic book universe. If you have anything that you want to talk about in the Bond franchise. I have all the movies. I have all the soundtracks. I have one of the soundtracks. I have Thunderball on vinyl. I have all the Bond girl dolls. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Tracy. She's my favorite. And that's another thing that a friend of mine, Kyle, I'll be tweeting you about this later, Kyle. Kyle said that he heard that Bond will be getting married in this new Bond film. And if he does, it's going to have to be to Tracy, because in the books and in the movies, that's who Bond gets married to, is Tracy. And she's one of the best Bond girls ever. They're slowly starting to add the elements of the old Bond films back into this reboot. We now have M, the male M. We now have Moneypenny. We have Felix Leiter. We have Q. Now they're going to add Spectre and possibly Blofeld in this movie. We've already done Vesper, the only other woman that he got close to besides the one he married. So do we need to try to fit Tracy in this film? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that would be difficult. Anyway, like I said, tweet at me if you want to talk about it. I'm always down to talk about Bond. I'll tell you right now, my favorite Bond is Timothy Dalton. I will never change my mind, and you will not change my mind. And I will argue with you as to why he's so good. So shut up. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great holiday. Have a great Christmas. Bye!